According to the New York Times, President-elect Donald Trump has settled on retired four-star Marine General John F. Kelly as his choice for the Secretary of the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Now, to quote the article directly, blunt-spoken and popular with military personnel, General Kelly, age 66, rose to run the United States Southern Command, which put him in charge of the military jail at Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, and exposed him to immigration, drug trafficking, and other cross-border problems over a sprawling area that encompasses 32 countries in the Caribbean, Central America, and South America. This also includes the strategically important Panama Canal Zone and, in essence, the Eastern Pacific, as well as everything south of Mexico. Support is coming through from such places, including a number of my own sources, both active and retired at the Department of Homeland Security. Many of my people are thinking that given his career in the Marine Corps and given his reputation, he's going to go in and essentially clean house. And one of the things is he was actually under consideration by Secretary Jay Johnson, the soon-to-be outgoing Secretary of Homeland Security, to go in and clean up the United States Secret Service given a number of their issues. He is somebody who is supported by former Secretary Leon Panetta as well. So he's an individual who appears to be able to reach across the aisle, as they say in politics. Now, here's what a statement from the National Border Patrol Council, or the union that represents the U.S. Border Patrol agents rank and file. They would like to thank both President-elect Trump and Vice President-elect Pence for seeking our opinion about the nomination of General Kelly as the Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security. We have faith in President-elect Trump, and although General Kelly does not have immigration experience, we recognize that he comes in with stellar credentials. We caution, however, that because President-elect Trump's meteoric rise was built on border security, we believe no other cabinet-level nominee will be under more pressure to produce. They go on to state, we expect the new administration to work with the NBPC to solve the historic problems within the agency that have created an environment that consistently ranked at the bottom of all federal agencies in morale, job satisfaction, and trust in leadership. The challenge of meeting our expectations and solving these problems will be placed on the shoulders of General Kelly. General Kelly's troops, by all accounts, loved him, which bodes well for the morale issue within DHS, and he appears to be a no-nonsense rule of law general. Tom Ridge is the closest comparison, though for me personally, hardly, given some of the stories that I've covered for the New American. Secretary Ridge also had stellar credentials, but due in large part to the newness of the department and its size and breadth of work, he wasn't successful. Unlike Secretary Ridge, however, General Kelly will have history on his side, and if he comes in with a fresh approach, the non-establishment, outside-of-the-box thinking approach, and if he surrounds himself with the right people, we believe President-elect Trump's administration will allow him to be successful. And I'll concur with that assessment, because that's the key there, if he surrounds himself with the right people. And you also have to remember that there's a lot of issues, not just the morale issue, but you just look at the rat's nest, according to my sources, and just considering the stories that I've covered for the New American, you have the issues of integrity. You have the issues of sandbagging and fudging numbers, in essence, fabricating numbers when it comes to apprehensions of illegal aliens. And not just that, but outright blatant perjury committed by top officials at the Department of Homeland Security, including representatives from U.S. Customs and Border Protection, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, as well as Citizen and Immigration Enforcement. You have so many agencies within this department that have blatantly committed perjury before Congress, that have misrepresented facts, not only there, but before the public as well. So he's going to have to go in, clean up all of the corruption, clean up all of the incompetence, basically throw out all the Aguilar types inside of the Border Patrol. So he's going to have his hands full. And then on top of that, don't forget, you also have the Homeland Security Advisory Council, which also has been highly compromised by individuals appointed by Barack Obama, among others. You have the issue of the Mexican government, who has had regular access to DHS facilities and has long been able to apply their influence. So you have so many ways that this department has been compromised going back to 2003, 2004. You know what? In all honesty, I can't wait to see what General Kelly is able to accomplish as the Secretary of Homeland Security, and hopefully he takes a look at some of these individuals that I've suggested in previous stories, such as Sheriff Joe Arpaio, the outgoing sheriff of Maricopa County. He could go in and clean up a number of agencies inside of DHS, and given his own experience previously at the DEA, there's a spot that's going to need to be filled. You have a number of border sheriff friends of mine, Texas sheriffs retired, such as Sigfredo Gonzalez from South Texas, Tom Herrera from South Texas, Arvin West from West Texas. A number of people can go in who know the border like the back of their hand and can clean out the rat's nest and are going to know what to do. And believe me, these are the types of friends I would happily support and assist if they called upon me to do so.